There's a guy by the name of Vic DiBattista, and this is him right here. He's a comedian, and he went in his car and ranted about Washington, D.C.'s response to COVID-19, and this went viral. This blew up on Reddit. You know, I saw it all over the place on Twitter, and it went viral for good reason. Let's see what he had to say.
Dear government, we understand that the virus is not your fault. It happened. It is what it is. I'm not going to get into that idea that maybe you could have acted sooner. We can deal with that when this is all over. But here's the deal. We need a real fucking plan. It was the right move to make everyone stay home because that's the only way to deal with a virus like this. But here's where I have a problem. So, you told us to shut down non-essential businesses. You told us to go home and quarantine. You told us we have to keep social distance and stay inside. But you told us you would help. So where is the fucking help? These checks are what they are. I mean, let's be serious. I'm not going to turn away $1,200 because number one, if you're going to give it to me, I'm taking it. And number two, it's our fucking money, not yours. It's ours. We paid that in taxes for everything we do every fucking day. So, okay. Look at the typical family. Mortgage payment, healthcare payment, car payments, electric, water, garbage, phone, blah, 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 blah. So maybe the $1,200 covers the mortgage. But what about all the other costs that we have each month? This $1,200 thing isn't doing shit for the normal working family. You want to help? Here's one idea. Tell the fucking banks and mortgage companies to stop all mortgage payments at this time. Just stop them. And don't give me that 3-month furlough bullshit. How does that even make sense? So someone who lost their job because you said to stay at home doesn't pay mortgage for 3 months, but in the 4th month they have to not only pay that month that's due, but also the 3 months they owed in full because it was furloughed? How the fuck does that help, you greedy cocksuckers? Someone was just unemployed and not earning money for 3 months. They weren't earning money. Hello? Now they just start back to work and all that money magically appears so they can pay the 3 months in a lump sum. How are they fucking paying that? Are you fucking idiots? Look, it almost makes sense that they can stop paying the current mortgage due for the month when they go back to work. But they can't pay the prior 3 months. They had no income. So here's the idea. Just add the 3 fucking months of the furlough to the back end of the loan. So if they have, let's say, 19 years and 6 months left in their mortgage, just add the 3 months. So now they have 19 years and 9 months. How fucking hard is that? You'll get your money, you shitbags. It's just delayed. The working stiff wins if you do that. It really helps. It actually helps. And what is up with these banks and lending assholes? I mean, come on. You literally make billions of dollars in profit quarterly. That's every 3 months. The last crash was 10 years ago. So you have 10 years of massive profits and you need a bailout after 2 weeks of a shutdown? How come we, the people, have to save for a rainy day, but you save nothing? Every fucking quarter that you made $3 billion in profit, not income, profit, and all that means you paid all your salaries and bills and everything you needed to pay to run a company for 3 fucking months. So every time you made $3 billion in a quarter, if you had just put $1 billion in the bank, you'd have $40 billion in the bank after 10 years. That's not even including interest. But no, you greedy cocksuckers have to get bailed out again from our taxpayer money, and then you shit on us by not giving us a real break on our mortgages, credit card bills, or car payments, or anything, and the government allows this. We get fucked. We bail you out, we get fucked. Rinse, lather, repeat. You dirtneck fucking pieces of shit should have had more than enough money to keep paying your workers and give everyone a break in mortgage payments the way I said for the time being. And again, I'm not saying to wipe the slate clean. I'm saying to just add the missing mortgage payment to the back end of everyone's loans. Do it for everything. The car lease is now 3 months longer. The credit card payment is now 3 months longer. The mortgage payment is now 3 months longer. You want to help the American worker, you could eliminate all payments due until this is over. That way, unemployment and stimulus checks would only be needed for food. That is what the American family needs now. That would help us. You greedy cocksuckers and you government lackeys who suck the balls of the big corporations and shit on the people are just as bad. Shame on you all. There could be a real plan in place, a real plan to get people through these next few months, a real plan to be testing, a real plan to allow workers who are considered non-essential to not worry about catching a virus and losing their house. You do the right fucking thing, you peckerheads. Having to tell the government what to do because they have their heads in their asses, that's what fucking ticks me off.
That was, without question, the most New York rant I've ever seen. From one New Yorker to another. I know a thing or two about New York rants, and this dude, that's like the ultimate New York rant. And I don't even know if he's from New York. He could be New York, New Jersey, somewhere in the area, but that was great. And I've now seen about 1,000 people saying that Vic needs to run for office. I agree with that. Knowing nothing about his politics, and, hey, listen, you could watch that, and he might lean right, he might lean left, but the thing that's clear is that he wants a solution to what's going on right now, and the things that he's proposing and putting out there are very straightforward and would be solutions. So, hey, I just went through it in the previous segment, but they're doing phase 3.5 of the Corona bailouts, and here's what still at this late date, 3.5 bills in, here's what's not in it. Hazard pay for frontline workers. Money for states and cities. Many of them are on the verge of bankruptcy, and Mitch McConnell literally said, let them go bankrupt. Money for election security because we want to transfer over to an all-mail vote for the upcoming election because we don't want to spread the coronavirus more. More oversight on the bailout. There's no oversight on the corporate bailout, so there's $4.5 trillion. Corporate America is looting the treasury. We've fully implemented corporate socialism as regular people struggle. No food stamp money, no rent freeze, no more stimulus checks, no UBI. So everything that is an actual solution is not in this bill. Not in this bill. And beyond all that, we're dealing with cowards. They're all cowards. Because none of them are like, okay, let's actually put this one on the record. They're doing a voice vote. So now people can turn around after the fact, and even if they supported it through voice vote, they can say, who, me? All along I was saying, oh, this is bad and this is wrong and we need to do something about it and we got to stop it. Really? Because there's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that at all. If you wanted to get it on the record, you could have gotten it on the record. But you didn't do it because you didn't want to do it. So, listen, all of Washington, D.C. is full of corporate sheeps. This is, if there was ever a question, if there was a single solitary question remaining in your mind as to who they're serving, it should be gone now. It's crystal clear who they're serving. It's crystal clear. They rushed it. I mean, seriously, stop and think about this. The freaking cruise line industry got a bailout before treatment for COVID-19 was covered. People were getting $30,000 bills. I remember because we covered the story on the show. $30,000 bills for COVID-19 treatment. As the cruise line industry, the government was rushing in to give the cruise line industry a bailout. Just so you understand about the cruise line industry, it's a sham. Like the whole thing, the way it's run is a ruse. What happens is they register in tax havens and they don't pay U.S. taxes. They register in like Cayman Islands. They register in all these different places where they dodge taxes. Also, they basically kind of have indentured servants, where they hire people from these other countries and they pay them trash, and then they turn around and say, okay, listen, I know we dodge our taxes. I know we don't pay any taxes. I know we have indentured servants, but we would like to rob from the American taxpayer now. We would like to get, a giant bailout. And the government bails them out before we even pay for COVID-19 treatment. Are you kidding me? The only way in which that set of facts adds up, the only way that makes sense is if it's crystal clear that the government is not working for the American people. That's the only way that makes sense, is if it's obvious, if it's clear that the government is really working for the airline industry, the cruise line industry, all of Wall Street, the financial industry, the big banks, obviously the military-industrial complex. You have these giant mega corporations that were filing for and getting relief money under the small business, relief plan. It's all a ruse, guys. It's all a ruse. The United States of America is a corporatocracy. That's what we are. I'm not kidding when I say we fully implemented corporate socialism. By the way, if you're a right-winger, this isn't even capitalism. Because under capitalism, you know what's supposed to happen? Hey, let it have competition. May the better product, the better company win. And the other one, sorry, you're asked out. You're going to go out of business. What do you want me to tell you? That's the way it works. Sorry, you lost. That would be capitalism. Under capitalism, it's like, okay, well, if you failed, that sucks. I guess you're done. I guess you got to go through bankruptcy, a managed bankruptcy. But no, The way it works now, privatize the profits and then socialize the losses. So if I win, we win, the corporations and the executives. If we lose, we win because you're just going to give me tax money. You're going to hand me over the key to the treasury and I'm going to go loot the treasury at the same time that people can't pay their bills. We don't have a rent freeze. We don't have a mortgage freeze. Thank God we at least have a student loan freeze at the moment. But we don't have a rent freeze. We don't have a mortgage freeze. We got a one-time $1,200 payment that didn't even get to most people in the country. What a joke this is. We need a UBI. We need more stimulus money. We need to freeze the major bills. This is obvious, guys. This is why you see, it's only in the United States of America. When you look at the numbers, every other country, there might be a slight uptick in unemployment. But they're holding relatively steady compared to us. Why? Because like I just told you, they're doing a plan where they furlough everybody as opposed to fire everybody. Here, people all over the place. So, yeah, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. Pink slips for everybody. And we're breaking records right now. 22 million people in like a 3 or 4 week period. Are you kidding me? That far surpasses the Great Recession. That's Great Depression territory. So, listen, they're not working for you. You elect them and they turn around and spit in your eye and only represent the wealthy and the corporations. They couldn't make it any more clear. And I don't know Vic's politics, but Vic is onto that fact. And he's saying, look, here's what you do if you want to solve it. And they're not going to do any of it. And what's pathetic to me is that rant that Vic just gave, yes, he delivered it in only a way that this guy could deliver. Yes. But honestly, I would love to see something like that from Bernie Sanders, Sherrod Brown, Elizabeth Warren, Ro Khanna, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. Give me some fire-breathing stuff that is directed specifically at leadership. Put middle finger up to leadership because they're the ones who are leading this process and they're the ones who are clearly screwing over the American people and serving the corporations. But no, when you're in that bubble, when you're in Washington, D.C., it's much easier to just rationalize away your terrible actions. I don't know, everybody else is doing it. Well, congratulations on being just like the rest of them. You should be very proud.